Hey, I'm sharing my experience with bold advanced leadership that I just went to 2 weeks ago. It took me about 2 weeks to process it. It was a very emotionally intense experience. So if you're gonna go to it, I strongly recommend you prepare yourself mentally for that. It is very intense. It's kind of marketed as this leadership training, but it is kind of an emotional, it's almost like a enthusiasm training. A couple of things that I found very interesting about it. I got there a little early, and I took a hike around the premises. It's like out in the woods in Washington. It's a very beautiful setting. The one I think they do some in California and in Washington. And a lot of people, like when I posted it on my social media that I was going, I'm friends with a lot of people in the HVAC space, and there was like 50 comments, and they all kind of said the same thing. So I was like feeling a little bit of, how do you say, cult vibes? That's the initial thought that I had, was like, it's like a little culty just based on all that. But they're like, go all in, Tim, go all in. And so when I got there, I did my very best to do just that. I tried to go all in. There was speaking exercises. I'm not going to say all the different things that we did, because in case you do go after watching this, I want you to feel like it's somewhat of a surprise in the actual specific things that they do. But I'll just give kind of the overview of it was very intense. A lot of public speaking, a lot of there's some physical challenge stuff, nothing too hard, but using our brains and teamwork. And after processing this, I think at the beginning, right when I got through, I was like, what did I just experience? Because it was 3 days, it's very emotionally intense. There's some waking up early, waking up 6 or so, and then going to bed at midnight. And honestly, I found it somewhat fun. I found the challenge, because I like challenges. So I found it somewhat fun, and I felt very challenged, personally challenged. And I'm a guy that does speaking a lot. I speak. I am kind of a little bit social, and I had a good time though. I had a really good time. It was kind of emotional. They encourage you to bring your full self, your core, down to your core of your being. So I really dug that up, and I tried to be my full self with this thing. It is really good for now, when I got home, those first 2 or 3 days especially, I couldn't help but as I was talking to people, I was trying to be fully present, right? I was giving a lot of eye contact and having a lot of expressions. And I was really listening to people and trying to ask good questions. And I've got really conscious of how our energy when we're in the room with somebody, and our body, our facial gestures and the way we're kind of carrying ourselves affects people as they speak. Because not only are you learning to speak better at this, but you're also learning how to listen better, active listening, and bring your entire being, your enthusiasm, your conviction, your emotions, and your inner beliefs to the table when you're speaking. So as much as it is a leadership training, which I believe leadership really does require this, it's partly a public speaking course. And so I immediately, when I got done with this, and I think this kind of shows you what my real reaction is to the whole thing, I immediately wanted to send other people for my team, because as a leader, I'm really going to try to get better at this, but I immediately wanted other people on my team, and I could think of a few people that I really wanted to go. They try to have the person who, the main owner of the business or the leader, to go first. And then they try not to have people at the same level at the business there at the same time. So you go first and then you send other people. I immediately sent our COO, Cody. So Cody was there this past week, and I texted him afterwards. I was in Aruba this last week, which was really good. Needed some rest and some sun after a long winter in Minnesota. But I texted him afterwards, and Cody was like, "Oh, it was really good." So I had a really good time, and I think that that shows you that I legitimately had a very good time just because I sent somebody, my COO, immediately. And I'm just really happy that it turned out well for him, because it's kind of a little, I'm trying to be as honest as I possibly can. It's kind of a little like scary and really deep for something related to business. So sending people, it's a little, you're kind of, hey, go to this thing for business and bring your whole self down to your emotional core and what you believe. So there's a lot of risk, right? There's risk when we share ourselves and we ask people on our team to share themselves fully and engage fully with something like this. So that's the risky part. I think that if you do risk and you have your people risk that there is reward. I think for that reason, though, because it's scary, I don't know. I'm going to say like 9 out of 10. I think that I wouldn't have it any other way, but I think to say 10 out of 10 would be a little like, it's probably not for everyone. There was even a couple people in my group, respectfully, and they're super nice, but like there's a couple people in my group that I don't know if they were totally engaged. And it's really, it does the most for you if you're totally engaged when you go. So if you're watching this and you're considering going to Bold Advanced Leadership from Driven Leadership is the company, then you should know you're going to get the absolute most if you actually go all in, first of all, and like come and be totally engaged from the get-go. And you will get a lot out of it, because there's something about expressing yourself fully and completely and being intense and intentional at every moment, being your authentic self, that's like very cathartic and relieving. It feels good. It feels good, but it's also so crazy and so intense. So I think, without saying more of the specifics, I give it a 9 out of 10 because it is risky. And you should be prepared and not be confused that it's a little risky. And I would do it again. I wish I could do it again. It's crazy. I would totally do it again. Just send our COO, and I'm going to send a few more people from our team. So that's my genuine reaction after 2 weeks of processing Bold Leadership Training. It's not a testimonial. It's a review. I'm trying to be super honest. And, if you went to it, or if you are going to it, comment below. Totally curious what other people think. Mary, it's Mary Belden, and she was the person who led it. And I was like, oh my God, you are exceptional, because she was so alert for 2 or 3 days. She was so alert and intense, and she had a lot of presence, and she was a great coach. And it kind of was like, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. Maybe I could, but she was practiced. She's obviously done this a lot, and she was really, really, really good at it. And she probably makes massive impact on people's lives through this experience, because there's a lot of love, and there's a lot of like kind of challenging, and it's crazy how deep you can get in such a short period of time. And I think you can you can't even really fully understand it unless you go yourself. So if you do go, I would love to chat with you about it. It's kind of a wild experience. So I'm excited to chat with my CEO, who just went out last week, and like just talk to him about it, because I'm like, dude, whoa, that was wild, wasn't it? So I'm sure people that have gone to it will know what I'm talking about. And that's all I got. I hope you guys are having a good one. big thumbs up for, oh God, I got the bubble. Big thumbs up for Bold Advanced Leadership. I wish I could go again for the first time. Super interesting. Hope you guys are having a good one. Talk to you later.